Hello, today we ask Reddit what's embarrassing for a grown man to still be doing. Make sure to comment any childish actions you still do as an adult. With that, sit back and enjoy. Denying the words they spoke 5 seconds before. Arguing when calm feels like a life hack for me. I've gotten into arguments where maybe I was caught off guard with the topic or was a little too emotionally dependent. But if you ever feel like you're in the right of an argument, just be the calmer one of the bunch. You'll notice angry people duck their words up a lot and often don't think before talking. I've tried that, multiple times. Now I just let them finish what they have to say and calmly explain my side. Which sometimes helps, but not every time. I try to remain calm during arguments with my partner, but it seems to piss her off more that I don't appear more emotionally involved. Have you tried telling her to calm down? Oh yay, that one always works beautifully. Forgetting to flush the toilet after pooping. My ducking housemate not only forgets after shitting, he also pees all over the ducking floor. I am 19 and I am having to clean up a grown man's piss on a near daily basis. Edit. I'm female. Me and the rest of the housemates have asked the other male housemate to talk to him about it, as we've provided materials to clean up and have sent several polite messages in the group chat already. If he doesn't stop still, I'm gonna contact the res hall admin about it. Use his bath towel to clean it up. The necessary evils. Ooh, you know, if he's gross enough to pee all over and leave poop in the bowl, there's a good chance he won't notice. But I think that's a grand idea. In terms of hobbies, worrying about what other people think he is too grown to do. There are plenty of things already listed here which it is improper for any adult to do. Common courtesy type things. But when it comes to collecting things, playing games, watching cartoons, airsoft. Duck everyone else's opinions. My grandfather lived to his 90s. Watched Roadrunner cartoons up until the day he died. Everyone knew this about him, and I always took it as some kind of endearing thing. Fact is, everyone knew about it because they all gossiped about how weird it was for a grown man to watch cartoons. Dude was crabber on the Chesapeake. Had leather for skin. Owned his own boat. Was on the water most of his life. Named my dad, Spike. But apparently, he wasn't enough of a man because he giggled at Wile E. Coyote's antics. Did he ever care about that people thought he was weird for watching cartoons? If not, then he was probably much more of a man than anyone who told him he wasn't man enough. I read a comment on here once that was along the lines of, a real man can do whatever the duck he wants, and I've used that ever since. Especially since I have a young daughter. Nobody is going to tell me I'm less of a man because I want to make my kid smile. Screw those people who think someone is too old to watch cartoons. Especially when there are some cartoons that are catered to adults or are foul. South Park is one that comes to mind. Same with video games. People say they are for kids, but if you have the disposable income and time when retired to afford buying and playing video games, power to you. Edit. I should also clarify that I didn't mean you have to be retired to enjoy video games. I was more stating the retirement aspect, as at that age, many definitely think they are too old to play video games. Throwing tantrums. My ex's go-to was slamming doors and screaming, which was tolerable until we moved in together. I ignored that red flag, and it was hard for me not to laugh when she would do that, because how does someone not grow out of that? Arguments aren't for winning, they're for finding a solution or voicing concerns. I learned a phrase that helped me through most arguments in a relationship. Do you need comfort or a solution? Whenever a grown man throws tantrums around me, I respond like I do with kids and ask them questions. Did you throw that PlayStation controller because you were angry that your team didn't win? What else could you have done? I see you are feeling a lot of emotions right now, but we don't hit, do we? Not being able to admit you are wrong when shown. Doubling down on something just because you don't want to be embarrassed is middle school shit. You'd be surprised what professions of people are sometimes the most stubborn. I've dealt with most. Number 1 way to lose a ton of respect to me personally, just irks me. Admit your mistakes. I get it, we are all human, we all get shit wrong, we all make mistakes, and it's okay, most of them can be undone with open communication, but not when you're denying something happened. I argued with a lady for a couple minutes about why I called her on the number she entered in the "schedule a call" feature in our software. Her reaction? Why are you calling this number? How did you get this number? You should never be calling me from this number, from the get-go, before I could even introduce myself. She accused me of lying when I told her I was just calling her on the hash she entered on the form. Still can't believe it to this day. To be that confidently incorrect is baffling. LMAO. Playing TikTok vids loud as duck in public. A big one for me is typing on your phone with the ducking ringer on in public. Click 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 click. That shit should be hard-coded to be always off. Like you have your damn phone in your face, why would you need a sound cue to know that you pressed a button? Not having good hygiene in public, and in private. I have a coworker and our job requires us to be here for 12 hours straight. He says he doesn't need to take showers because he's not here to impress people. The duck. Edit seems like he found this comment. Duck you Matt, you smell like a wet dog in a flooded basement with no working sewage, and I truly wish your wife or girlfriend good luck for even procreating with you when we all know you just rinse your balls with water only. Lol, wait, did you get a DM or something? I don't see a funny comment. I need the drama deets ha. I hear him complaining in the break room lol. I know he scrolls Reddit for guns and trucks, but I didn't think he'd go on this sub. Edit y'all, why would I waste my time figuring out what he does on AskReddit lol? Should I know what questions he taps to read? Comments he replies to? I just know he scrolls Reddit, sometimes the duck. So he's complaining that a post about a stinky guy must be about him? So he knows full well he stinks, and still chooses not to wash? Get in the shower Matt, you dirty duck. Pro tip for people who deal with hygiene issues. If you are one of those people who just get home, tell yourself that you will clean up later, then flop on the couch, bed, and then never actually do it. I totally get it. The best way to honestly handle this is to get cleaned up and do whatever other hygiene-related jobs you need to take care of before you let your ass touch a cushioned surface. Because once you sit down, you are likely not getting up. If you are one of those people who find themselves bargaining, I guess I don't need to do laundry tonight. My clothes don't really smell. Or I guess I can get away with skipping a shower, etc. Snap out of it because you probably don't smell as good as you think you do. I get that depression can be rough. I've been there and probably still am there. But you kinda have to force yourself. I used to do a lot of bargaining myself. Once you have the feeling of just being clean regularly, you begin to desire that feeling, which helps a lot. I work a tough blue-collar job. The first thing I want to do when I get home is collapse. But I know I can't until I am clean. Pulling their pants all the way down at the urinal. This is some serial killer behavior. I vividly remember the moment I realized this was wrong. I was about 6 or 7 peeing at a urinal with my butt out, looked around and realized everyone else had their pants up. I tried to hurry up and finish as quickly as possible. Definite loss of innocence moment. I remember maybe the first time I used a urinal. Ducking Daniel from first grade laughed and pointed, so from then on I can't manage to unclench when at a urinal. What kind of asshole kid makes fun of his teacher like that? My manager looked at me and said, with all of my male coworkers in the room, I hope I can try you out in bed. You must be a freak. I reported him and he was terminated. One of the most mortifying moments of my life was when I was running into the kitchen to grab a chilled dessert for a table, and right then, the kitchen manager was holding a small meeting for kitchen staff. He had a large bag of chicken breasts hanging off the side of a table and it slowly fell onto the floor. He said, "Oh, my breasts fell." Then, with all the kitchen staff watching, he pointed at me and said, "Ha, that's gonna happen to big futurology in about 10 years. Those perky breasts are gonna spill all over the floor too." I was like 19 and I thought it was normal, so I didn't do anything except turn extremely red. I wish I had done more. That job was so awful for me mentally. Going to college or high school parties in an attempt to fool himself he is still young. Watch out for those types. It's often not just the illusion of youth that they're looking for at parties like that. Used to date a girl who never seemed to outgrow her college days personality. She used to love going to those college bars at the university nearby. I always felt so uncomfortable being 30 years old sitting in those places. I live near a university and about 2 years ago, I was 34 at the time, me and my now wife, she was 29, went to hang out at a college bar with all her friends that were getting PhDs. I kept wondering why there were a bunch of high schoolers hanging out at a bar at 1 a.m. only to realize it was only 10:30 and they are in fact college kids. It hit me hard in the gut that night. Getting mummy to do his washing. A couple of years ago I met a woman in her late 50s that had a late 30s son still living with her. This was my first time meeting these folks, and the mom had just gotten home from work when her 38 or so year old son comes up to her in a huff with, "The washer isn't working and I don't have any clean clothes," expecting her to take his clothes to the local laundromat to wash them for him. It was wild to see live right in front of me. I'm a first-generation immigrant and I could never imagine talking to one of my elders in such a way, especially not a parent. And what represents my opinion on this thread? I was going to say, nothing, because people should do what they want to be happy, but after reading the comments I realize I was wrong. Me too. I read the title and was prepared to be annoyed. And then, yup. Flush the damn toilet, you child. With that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching all the way until the end, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment any childish actions you still do as an adult. Until next time.